welcome back to Bourbon and Blunts, everyone. It's been a hot minute.
It has been a little hot minute.
Hot minute, not a warm or cold minute. It's been a hot minute.
Been a hot minute. Uh-oh, my princess texting me. She says, "You're killing me."
With what?
I don't know.
Are you not supposed to be here?
No, she was fine.
What'd you do?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, man.
you know what happens.
You know someone's in trouble.
Yeah, you know what happens. So, well, welcome back, everybody. We got brand new episodes coming at you this week. I am one Mr. Wilhelm, a.k.a. Jimmy J, here with my handsome
Wilhelm. Still Wilhelm.
Yeah.
The Germans.
Yeah. Here with my handsome fella and co-host,
Hello.
Mr. Digital Slang. Today on the docket, we have our traditional What's Inside You? Go ahead, my friend.
It's time for
What's Inside You? And then followed up by the main article for today, which is going to be Scientists Find Structure from Before Homo sapiens existed. As a matter of fact, it's a petrified wooden structure that scientists actually found. So we'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up with our words of wisdom with Digital Slang. That's right, buddy. Yeah. So before the podcast, we were just saying, what does it feel like? Does it feel like something weird's going on in the world? Over the just in general over the past couple years, I get this.
Past couple years,
yeah, and it's just like we're slowly heading in this weird direction, and it just feels to me like something's going on here. Something's going on, and I don't know what's happening, but it just doesn't feel right.
Well, I can say there's definitely something going on.
Okay,
Always. Whether it's creepy or good or bad or fun or weird, there's always something going on.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you look at it.
I guess, man.
Like the wars are going on right now. The battles over there in Israel and
Palestine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got the Ukraine and Russia thing going on. And, it just, I don't know, just a lot of weird mechanics happening. And you have.
Do you think these are battles that are heading to something bigger?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering.
Remember that, I'm not going to say any names, but we have friends who have told us about World War III coming up in, 2025?
Well, I can tell you this. It really seems like we're heading in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even beyond that, aside from war, you also have now, what's the new boogeyman in a way? It's like climate change. We have all this. My point with that, I'm not debating that point. My point is with that you have. Anytime I hear our leaders in the world start pushing something, I'm just like, I don't know if I trust you.
Well, there's always an agenda behind it.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's
I just feel like you have an agenda.
We never get all the news. We never get the whole story.
No.
It's only what they want us to hear.
Yeah. So anyways, man, it's what a weird time to be alive in a way. We'll ride this wave as much as we can.
I just roll with it, man.
Yeah, we'll find out. So
just roll with it.
Hey, man, before we get rocking and rolling, I know it's in the morning, but we did say we're going to have a little nipper.
This is Bourbon and Blunts.
That's right.
And it is very early in the morning here, but we're gonna take a sip.
We'll take a little sip. Pull something off the shelf there, Big Daddy.
What do we want?
You decide. Whatever you want. I'm going to see what I'm in trouble for. Oh, you know what? Scott sent me the picture that I was supposed to bring in. I was literally just talking about it.
Every time he comes here, he forgets what he's supposed to bring.
I know. I always forget something.
We're gonna do some Toki Suntory whiskey today.
Yeah, that's what. Again, mid-shelf whiskey. You can pick it up in most liquor stores, and I will say
it's about $45.
Yeah, which is probably the average, I would say, cost wise. Very smooth.
Super smooth.
Very, very smooth. Highly would recommend.
Yeah. Toki.
I'm not usually a big fan of Japanese whiskeys or vodkas.
I can't say that because I've never had any but this.
Okay. I've had several.
Besides sake.
Maybe that's kind of what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Sake. What is sake made of? Is it vodka?
I'm not even sure, honestly. For those that are listening, let us know what sake is made out of.
Yeah, I think
what type of alcohol is sake?
I want to say it's like a type of vodka. I don't know. But either way,
I don't think it's vodka.
Maybe it's not. I'm not sure.
We could just Google it.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, my friend. Here, cheers. How's your week been, buddy?
Busy creating content, man.
Yeah. You're blowing up over there on digital slang.
It's Apple season.
It's Apple. That's right. They're dropping all the new products.
Everybody does well during Apple season.
Yeah.
If you're reviewing Apple products.
Yeah, I should have actually bought Apple stock or Apple options.
We all should have.
Nah, well, I'm just saying, like, every year I should just buy Apple options around this time of year and, you know.
It definitely goes up around this time of year.
Buy calls. So, yeah, we were in Lancaster last week. Dude, I freaking love going up there, man.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Scott and I were saying over this past weekend how in this country, we have so much access to such beauty if you really want to. If you really put a little bit of work, a little bit of effort into planning and doing, you don't have to go far to have a completely different experience.
Oh, yeah. I think people think of New Jersey as maybe a city type of place.
I could see that.
But it's not.
It's not.
It's not at all. It's literally called the Garden State.
Yeah.
Right?
But we have a ton of farms.
A ton of farms. The more south you go in New Jersey, the more land and farms there are.
Yeah.
So New Jersey is split into 3 places.
Yeah.
North, Central, and South. North is basically New York.
That's how I would view it, yes.
North Jersey is basically New York. Central Jersey, where I'm from, is like the suburbs and the beach.
Yeah.
And then South Jersey is farmlands and the beach.
Yeah. And to be fair, North Jersey does have a lot of farmlands too, but
and beach.
You're right, but in the perception,
it's I think it's more of how the people are. Right?
Yes.
Northern New Jersey people, they are very similar to people and sound similar to people in New York.
Yes. Agreed.
And then the further south you go, it is definitely different in 3 ways.
I would 100% agree. As a matter of fact, I mean, Scott and I both grew up in South Jersey, and we both grew up on farms, like legit farms.
Yeah, and everybody in South Jersey kind of roots for Philly teams.
Yes.
And then once you get to Central Jersey, it goes to New York
teams.
And then North Jersey, of course, is New York.
Right.
But,
yeah. Interesting dynamic here, but we do have such great access
to like PA,
to Pennsylvania.
New York,
I mean, even
upstate New York.
Upstate New York, even down, Maryland, Virginia, we have such easy access. I'm just saying in general.
There are places in PA that won't make you feel like you are completely somewhere else.
100%.
Yeah.
But in general, in America, we live in such a beautiful, massive country, and we have the access to go see that beauty if you put a little effort into it. And it doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to, I mean, we went camping. And literally, we're an hour and a half down the road, and we're in a completely different world.
Yeah.
So yeah, had a great time. One little quick story, and then we'll get into our questions. We were actually in the city of Lancaster, and going to some antique shops and whatnot. We were in this one shop. It wasn't an antique shop; it was like a boutique type shop that had a bunch of little vendors in there. Anyways, there was a gentleman in there. He probably had to be in his 70s. He was working. I was fascinated. He was working this old school. You would appreciate this, dude. This printer, and he was printing on coasters, one at a time. This machine was made in 1908.
Had a foot pedal.
Foot pedal,
Yeah.
dude. Big ass flywheel on it. I mean, it was mint condition. So I'm like, oh my god, look at the craftsmanship on this thing. So I had to talk to the guy, and he was like a teacher for 30-some years, teaching like printing in high schools. I didn't realize like there's a lot of it's like an organization that does like old school printing. Dude, he had me print like a little postcard on a print press that was built in 1750, all original. I couldn't believe it. All original wood. All original metal from 1750, and it worked like a friggin' charm.
That's cool.
It was awesome. And I kept looking around at like a lot of the antiques, and I'm just like, wow, look how things were built at one point in our history, and look how things are made now. Just chintzy, cheap shit.
Things were built to last back then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get back to that, buddy.
No, it's not.
No, I think it's going to get back to it. Come on, we got to believe. Dude. We got to believe.
Bro.
So
it's all about, they want it to break now so you can buy another one.
Well, there is that, right? And we also buy our cheap shit from,
They don't have many choices with those matches. There's like 2 in there,
There's
right?
literally 1 in here. Let's make it work.
Don't breathe on it. Last match in the house. And the lighter's dead. So this is our only shot.
Oh, my God. Come on, we can do it. We can do it.
Can he do it without fucking... Oh, you're about to burn your finger, too. The blunts section of the bourbon and blunts.
That's right. That's right, buddy. All right, my man. What, you want me to go first with questions, or you want to go first with questions? Okay. Ready?
It's time for...
What's Inside You? All right, first question of What's Inside You for... You almost broke that thing right there. What?
Fuck.
Ready, dude? Oh, man, that went right to your head.
I'm going to be...
Be high as hell now.
I didn't want that. Go ahead.
All right. What would be the speed limit of your thoughts? Well, sorry. Let me rephrase that. What is the speed limit of your thoughts?
That's a good question, actually.
I thought it was a unique question. Yes.
It is very unique because some people's thoughts are racing like crazy and they can't stop them, and they're probably going a mile a minute. Mine are not that.
Yeah, I couldn't see that.
First, what I want to know is what is in our brains, what is the average speed limit? Give me an average.
Right. I bet you scientists could figure that out.
What's the speed limit? Let's just say that. What's the speed limit? Give me a speed limit, and then I'll go off of that.
Okay.
Well, should we just say 55 is the speed limit like normal?
Let's say it's 100.
If a normal person has a speed limit of 100 in their mind.
Oh, normal person?
A normal person.
Let's say a normal average person, speed limit 65.
I'm going to say my thoughts in my mind are probably around 50.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm very even keeled when it comes. Now, don't get me wrong. When my buttons are pushed, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, just even across the board.
Okay.
Like,
I can see
my thoughts don't race.
I can see that out of you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, for me, the speed of my thoughts, if the speed limit's 65, mine's 85.
I can see that too.
Yeah, I think I'm around 85 miles an hour.
You know how you talk to yourself in your head?
Yes.
Because we do it all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're talking and I'm listening, I'm thinking in my head, and vice versa.
Of course.
I feel like it's in slow motion sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that, dude.
And it allows me in real time to really think about it. Like as I'm thinking the thought, I'm also thinking about the thought if it's how I really feel.
Okay.
So there's multiple things going on in every thought.
Right.
That's how slow it is.
Okay. I like that. See, with me, one of the things that I've noticed with myself is that when I'm having a conversation or when I'm thinking about things, there's like this taproot of a thought, right? Or the main topic of the conversation. And for whatever reason, I can literally feel like synapses firing off that taproot of the thought and going down all these different little
vines of
exactly
of the timeline shooting off.
Exactly. And then what happens is I start exploring that in real time, and I completely go off the rail and start rambling. Rambling a little bit, and it's like, fuck, like get back onto
we know.
We know. We do know.
Yeah.
You're right, man. And I've noticed that with myself, and that is partly, I really do work hard on trying to fucking stay either on it or bring it back, you know?
It's interesting.
Because, with that, the main thought, there's so much gray in any topic, right? So then I start exploring all the gray areas.
And think about all the different scenarios.
All the different stuff, and then, how it affects this one main topic or one main thought, and, and it's just
I've trained myself to, because I'm usually the most quiet person in the room. Doesn't matter how many people. I'm usually one of the most quiet people in there. I'm always thinking. I'm always I might be quiet on the outside. You know how ducks are on top of the water?
Yeah.
And then underneath, they look so calm and peaceful.
Yeah, they're
but
like
underneath, their fucking legs are going like crazy, but they're graceful on top of the water. That's how my mind is. But the feet aren't moving fast.
I got you. Your
feet are just, but it's constant.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Respect, buddy. Respect. Going off that similar, where's my other question at? Here we go. Same thing with speed a little bit. Or not speed, but same thing with thoughts. Is there any place where you can hide your thoughts? And I like this question for the simple fact that we're in this technological world, and I think we can go down a certain rabbit hole with this. But is there any place you can hide your thoughts?
Like, are you talking about like a physical place or a mental space? Or?
Whatever it is. I mean, that's a open question.
I don't really hide them. I'm not somebody that if I have something to say, I'm going to tell you, and I don't care if it's rude most of the time.
It is what you deem to be the truth.
My truth. Doesn't mean it's your truth. I don't need you to believe the same thing.
Well, there is just the truth.
Not always.
It's just the truth.
Not always.
There's an opinion.
Well, an opinion could be your truth, but your opinion could be wrong.
That's an opinion. It's not truth.
Jesus Christ. Here we go.
Well, I do.
What was I saying? How do we get here? See, we're going off on that timeline.
Exactly. That's because that's the cannabis talking, buddy. That's the. Is there any place to hide your thoughts?
Oh yeah.
And then we started talking about truth. There is just the truth. It's not my truth or your truth.
I don't. I think a lot of times. I want to say, this is. I'm going to use this word, but it goes beyond that.
Okay.
I'm very good at burying my thoughts. But when I say bury, I'm not saying I'm just covering them up and they're always going to be there.
Okay.
Like I can let them go.
Okay.
Like I can release, I like throw them in the basement and then I throw them out. They might sit in the basement for like a week or two or a month or whatever, but eventually they're gone. And I don't have to like deal with it anymore. I'm very good at like, if something fucked up happens to me, like, what's next?
Yeah. All right. That's
just
good.
Throw it out.
Right. You don't dwell on.
So I
a
don't
lot of
really.
that stuff.
Yeah, I don't really hide my thoughts.
Okay.
If they're negative thoughts, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's probably what nobody wants to hide positive thoughts, right? So you're hiding negative thoughts.
Potentially.
Right.
Yeah.
So anything negative or messed up things that have happened to me or things that I'm ashamed of or something, I throw them in the basement for a little bit, let them fucking marinate.
Okay.
And then
get rid of them.
They're gone.
Okay.
I don't hold on to anything anymore. I used to.
Okay.
Not anymore.
That's a good way to be, especially, just in general, to let things go. And whether that's through forgiveness or, whatever. Because at the end of the day, when you're holding on to all this negativity, I mean, it just manifests inside you and just breeds more negativity. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to be, buddy. Trying to stick with the
you got to answer the question.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think like, literally any place to hide your thoughts. Well, right now, you can still hide your thoughts in your head. And here's where I'm going to go with this. I was just talking to my kids the other day about this. I feel as though we have no more privacy anymore.
Only in your own home, really.
And right now, maybe even in our own head. Okay? Look at what we're doing. We're fucking broadcasting to the world, dude.
Yeah, we are.
And that's by our choice, right? But you're watching TV and you're scrolling on, you're doing stuff on your phone. Well, you're being tracked now. So obviously, this thought that you have in your brain, you're putting it down by typing certain things in your phone, and in some type of way, the data collectors. The individuals who are collecting data for these companies are basically stealing in some type of way your thought so they can put certain ads in front of you, right? The TV, smart TVs, they can listen to what you're saying so they can, again, feed you more advertisements. My point with this is eventually, where does this all keep going to where you, as the individual, have zero privacy left? And we can now... We at least portray, we know what your thoughts are. And when I say we, I'm talking about like surveillance state or government bureaucracies or whatever to determine and dictate how to treat the masses.
Stay on the timeline. You didn't answer the question.
Yes,
yet.
I did.
That's not answering the question.
Well, okay. There is nowhere to hide. There will be nowhere to hide your thoughts eventually.
That's your answer?
Yes.
You don't?
The only place to hide our thoughts right now kind of is in our brain, in our head.
So you hold on to the things. We're not talking about the government right now.
No, I'm just saying in general, because people want to label individuals as certain things based off of what they say, or and that's based off of thoughts. So if we can read people's thoughts somehow, all right, and in a way we kind of do that through data collection with technology.
Yes, we are being tracked in that way. They are seeing where we go, keeping file of it, and they are exploiting things to get us to buy shit.
Right now. And that's through our thoughts being put out in the world as actions.
Correct.
Right? So eventually there will be no way to hide our thoughts anymore. Because what if Elon is successful one day and you have Neuralink and you're able to read other people's minds and shit like that? Like,
I would never want to.
Fuck no.
No, it's not something I would ever
That
wish for.
is not something I want.
I don't want to know anybody's thoughts.
No.
Unless there was a way to just signal in on the dangerous things.
But who's determined what's dangerous?
Well, I'm just saying if AI determined...
Why would we want to have fucking robot?
If God made that possible for us, for like spider sense, Spider-Man tingles when like danger's around.
Yeah.
If it was like that, maybe like, okay, now I can read the thoughts of the evil.
But who's to determine what's evil? That's what I'm saying, man.
Just say it was fucking happening.
Oh, you're saying like an act of war. Okay, we could say that's evil. So now you're saying you're able to read the thoughts of an individual?
Yes, I'm talking about like precognition.
Okay.
Where somebody is thinking about doing something and then they're flagged. And then...
But again, where does that go? Because that's arbitrary. Yes, certain things are black and white, but not everything. Most things are not. So then who's to determine, oh, this is a dangerous thought?
We're just saying we're not talking about real shit, man.
But this is kind of real because this is where this shit can go.
Just go with it. Stop being so fucking literal.
Anyways, I think right now you can only hide your thoughts in your head, and I don't think that will fucking happen forever. Anyways, you ready to switch?
You didn't answer the damn question.
I did fucking answer the question.
Where do you put it? I don't care about the government and people and in general. Where do you fucking do it?
I put my thoughts in my dome.
Okay, you keep me. That's all you had to say.
I did.
We got 20 minutes of content for fucking 3 words.
All right, everybody. All right. Anyways, let's switch gears here. So, main topic of the day, and kind of found this fascinating. I was reading articles about this a few weeks ago. Big breakthrough discovery. Scientists have actually found it's like petrified wood or fossilized wood. But it's an actual wooden structure that basically predates Homo sapien to our knowledge.
Did I ask my questions?
Oh, shit. I don't think you did answer your questions.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
We'll do my questions after this.
All right.
Go ahead and keep going.
Shit, we rambled on too. See, this is what we talk about, fucking rambling.
Because of Miss Grass. That's her name.
Yeah, Miss Grass at least got you, I think.
Miss Grass.
So,
that's because I was coughing.
You were coughing.
Damn it.
Yeah. Like you'd never done it before.
Coughed?
Smoked marijuana.
No, I mean, it's fucking called bourbon and blunts.
All right. Scientists find structure from before Homo sapiens existed.
Real quick.
Go ahead, buddy.
Speaking of that, this is an interesting question. How do you feel about weed being legal? And how do you feel about, do you tell everybody now that you smoke? If they ask.
Yeah, if they ask, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I realize that...
For those that don't know, weed is legal here in New Jersey.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's still stigmatized to some degree. That's changing. And I think the only way for the stigma to stop is just be like, listen, I'm not hiding this anymore. This is not a problem for me.
Yeah.
In general, it's not really a problem at all.
Not in any
If
way.
you knew the history behind why it was criminalized, you'd realize, like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. What is the real gateway drug? It's alcohol. It's not marijuana.
Not marijuana.
It's alcohol. Dude, think about all the stupid shit you did.
Drunk?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never done anything stupid on marijuana with weed.
Right.
Drunk.
Fucking a lot of stupid shit.
I should be dead.
So, like, what is the real gateway drug, right? It's alcohol. So, anyways, I am a huge advocate in general of it. Yeah. It's not for everybody.
No.
Nothing is for everybody. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't villainize the people that it is for or that it can help because it's not for you or it's not for certain people, right? You know, sugar isn't for everybody either, but, you know, some people abuse it, some people don't. Like, we don't make it criminal.
Sugar is definitely a drug.
Yeah, it is a drug, for sure. So to me, cannabis is a literal plant that human beings have utilized for thousands of years all over the world.
It's a plant.
It literally is a plant.
Yeah.
With different properties called cannabinoids and terpenes. That can benefit you as a human being.
Don't use big words, bro.
Well, that's what it is, right? That benefit you as a human being, like reduced anxiety, reduced depression, reduced tumor growth, immune system support, cognitive support, sleep support, depending on the different strain that has certain cannabinoid profile and terpene profile to help you as the individual. And this is why we have specific medical cannabis because of those profiles. What a great plant. So
I would agree.
Anyways, go ahead. Ask your second question because that was the first. You answer the question now.
That wasn't part of the questions, but we can use it because it was a question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't hide it at all. Not with anyone. If they ask, I don't offer it up.
No.
But if they ask, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let me tell you something. It's crazy to me how many people I thought like
that do it.
I'm like, why didn't you ever tell me, dude?
And if it's not smoking, it's edibles.
Or whatever,
like
vapes or whatever.
I love it and more I see it.
Yeah.
More and more.
And it's so crazy, like the people that I never realized did because of the stigma, so they hid it. And then when it comes out, I'm like, oh, me too. And then we start fucking out. Then our relationship, develops even more.
And you talking about drug and drinking and alcohol and marijuana. Yes, we've done dumb shit when we were drunk, but bringing people together when you're drunk, sure, you could be happy drunk and like hang out with cool people, but you're gonna forget about that shit. It's like a one-nighter, or you're gonna fight, right?
I could just see that,
right? But when you're high and you're just smoking weed with somebody, even a stranger.
Fucking the communal element to it, dude. And it brings people together like nothing else.
You just chill. Everybody's just chill.
We were just talking about this last night. We were over a friend's house having dinner, and we were all smoking. We were just talking, we were around a fire, and just like, we were literally talking about the same thing. How alcohol, alcohol's communal, and it creates a certain feeling. But not like marijuana, man.
Nah,
it brings out
vibe.
the deepness in individuals, this emotional element and this
opens
connection.
A door. It opens
100%, man.
Not like tripping, like we're not getting into that, but it opens a small window, I should say.
I think you go deeper into your emotion.
I think a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, I huge supporter. You want to answer? Give me a second question there, buddy?
Yes. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah. We want answers. Drop some comments. How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
I'm gonna say it's a lot.
Well,
I'm gonna.
You think?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw an arbitrary number out there and just say 50,000.
I wish there was an answer. You're gonna say 50,000?
I'm gonna say 50,000. Let's just say each chicken weighs a pound. That's 50,000 pounds of chicken.
It's nothing to an elephant.
Probably not. I don't know. 50,000 pounds is a lot of freaking weight, dude. I wonder how much an elephant can move.
Yeah, but you know how many of those chickens are going to be dead under its feet?
Maybe. But what if they crush it? But they didn't crush themselves.
There's going to be a lot of dying chickens.
Yeah, I don't think a chicken can.
Yeah, it would
because
be,
the elephant can move and run, and
it would have to be like a million chicken that swarm at once
at one time.
and just fucking peck, 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 peck.
Yeah, I mean,
How else? They got talons or anything?
yeah, they got claws, dude.
Yeah, but will that even penetrate an elephant's
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I just threw an arbitrary number.
I think an elephant will take out 1 million chickens.
I think over time
I think an angry elephant would take out 1 million chickens, unless the elephant tired itself out, had to lay down. Then they
maybe
could take its eyes and, and shit like that.
But the elephant could go into water, like a pond or something like that. Chickens ain't getting out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Who knows? What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say the elephant wins. Yeah, drop some comments below if you're listening on YouTube. What do you think? How many chickens would kill an elephant? I'm gonna say 50,000.
I'm gonna say 1 million couldn't even do it.
All right. I you know
Unless
what?
The only way, I'm telling you, the elephant's gotta get winded.
That maybe. Yeah. I can't disagree with you, buddy. I don't know if that's a good question or a dumb question, but
it's a great question. It's a fantastic question.
So, anyways, let's get back into the main article for today. It's something I found very fascinating. It really seems like over the past, I don't know, let's just say 10 years or so, the new findings of, ancient civilizations or ancient sites or objects that predate our initial thought on when, Homo sapien arrived into the Americas and all this sort of stuff. It really seems like our species is older than what we may have even thought.
Of course we are.
Or at the very least, it seems like we've had a lot more advancement in our own technology earlier than what was previously thought. And now also other hominids also were pretty advanced as well in their, language, art. I mean, Neanderthals actually made art. They had jewelry. They had their own language. And so this archaeological dig, and I'll get into it right now, it says archaeologists from Europe and Africa have uncovered the oldest wood structure ever discovered, dating back almost 500,000 years ago, 500,000 years ago, dude, which technically, to our knowledge, would predate Homo sapien, meaning an unknown species of hominids predating us Homo sapiens was presumably responsible for its creation. The researchers laid out their findings in a recent paper in the science journal Nature, where they reported that they had found the wood structure of 2 interlocking logs joined transversely by an intentionally cut notch at a site at Kalambu Falls, Zambia, and dated it to a distance 476,000 years ago. At the same location, which the scientists say was likely the foundation for a dwelling or platform, they also found 4 tools fashioned from wood, a digging stick, a cut log, a wedge, and notched branch, each also dating to before the time of modern humans. This find has changed how I think about our early ancestors, says University of Liverpool archaeology professor and the paper's lead author, Larry Barham. In a statement, forget the label Stone Age, look at what these people were doing. They made something new and large from wood. They used their intelligence, imagination, and skills to create something they've never seen before, something that had never previously existed. The wood was preserved because Kalambu Falls kept the pieces permanently waterlogged, hence sealing them away from oxygen and oxygen-dependent bacteria that would degrade them. The findings is particularly significant because wood has rarely been preserved from the early Stone Age, offering an ultra-rare peek into the lives of our distant ancestors. And the article goes on for a little bit more. What's your thoughts on that, dude?
There's no way we have accurate knowledge of when we were, or when there was like people around, or anything living on this planet. We don't know.
We take some educated guesses, right?
They're just guesses.
They're educated guesses based off of what we find at the time.
Yeah.
And we create a narrative and a story around that.
Yeah. It's not accurate at all, in my opinion. At all.
Dude, I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
With a lot of the new, I was telling Scotty today, I was like, I really feel like what we know from our human history, is really only partially true.
Probably like 20%.
Maybe, right, dude? And it's like, when I was reading this very interesting article the other night, and it was how different populations from around the world have different genetic variability from extinct hominids. So most Europeans have Neanderthal DNA in them. Have you ever got your genetics tested?
No.
Okay. I have Neanderthal DNA in me. I have DNA from a extinct hominid that is also active in my body, right? So the traits are actually active, and they do this for like genetic sequencing and stuff like that. Even 23andMe, that's what I did. They have all that shit. So this article was saying how most Europeans do. Individuals that their ancestors, directly come from Africa very recently have no Neanderthal DNA in them, or very little. People living in Asia have predominantly Denisovan DNA, not Neanderthal DNA. So when you look at an individual, like let's just say who's Chinese versus someone who's from Africa versus someone's from Europe, they all look very different. Even like the facial structures and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, well, why is that? Well, part of that is because there are genetic differences based off of extinct hominids that our ancestors interbred with that created who we technically are. So really, most of us aren't even full-blown Homo sapien. We're like a mutt in a way. So what was also interesting, dude, and this kind of gets to the article, is that there are other, like in Malaysia and whatnot, there's certain DNA sequences that are from extinct hominids that weren't found yet, which is pretty fascinating. And here we have this structure that was...
How old did they say it was?
500,000 years ago, about 500,000 years ago, roughly.
Some old wood.
Damn right, dude. So imagine you have this extinct hominid that maybe some of our ancestors of Homo sapien actually interbred with at one particular time that created a certain population of people today. It's fascinating, man, to think about.
I wish I could find out.
Yeah, it's fascinating, dude. So, anyways, pal, let's wrap this Dog and Pony show up.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Words of wisdom with digital slang. Today's word of wisdom is, if you want to be happy, stop complaining. If you want happiness, stop complaining about how your life isn't what you want and make it into what you want.
Yeah, take responsibility for yourself and carve your own path.
Yeah, well, if, some people don't have that ability, but...
I think we all have that ability. It's just a choice.
Well, it is a choice.
All right. It's a choice, brother. So, anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for listening and watching. Check us out on YouTube, Bourbon and Blunts. Subscribe, like, comment, share. You can also listen to us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Go check us out. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.